Good morning, guys. Welcome back to the channel. We're back for another vlog. We did have some stuff planned today, but the weather has completely finessed us. Look at this. Yeah. So apparently, rainy season is supposed to be finished. This is my first year in Bali, so well, I say year. This is the first time I've experienced the seasons in Bali, and people say typically rainy season is supposed to be finished around, I think like May, something like that. Not sure what's going on because we're now almost heading into August and we still have torrential rain. So yeah, kind of killing the vibe, bruh. But it's not that long. It is kind of long because the main thing we need to do today is go to Denpasar, which is essentially, well, where we're going is a little bit further than where the airport is. So it's pretty far, especially if you need to get a taxi, which it looks like we're gonna have to do because I have been caught one too many times in this rain and it is horrendous. Like, you're literally coming back completely soaked through, hair soaked. Is not a nice experience. And I tell you what, the roads are just chaos. So as if the roads weren't kind of mad enough when it's dry, when it's raining like this, Jesus, bro. The time is right now, what time is it? 9:20. Probably should get a move on because, so we have a few things planned today. Well, a few things that we have to get done. First thing, and the most important, is we need to go to Denpasar. We have to head to the immigration office because there's been quite a big change when it comes to the whole process of renewing your visas. For some reason, they've decided it's a good idea now for anybody who needs to renew their visa, they have to go down to the immigration office and get a photo taken, and that's how, well, get a photo taken before your actual visa can be reissued. So even if you go online, like I spoke about in my visa run vlog, so you can go online, apply, pay for it, all of that's still cool for now, as far as I'm aware. So the problem comes when you want to renew now. So you can still apply online, you pay, but after you pay, you get hit with this email, which literally says in red, please make sure you head to your immigration office within 3 days of receiving the email notification. And I went once before. I actually went a few days ago to try and get this sorted out, because obviously the red writing kind of did worry me a little bit. I'm not gonna lie to you. Looked a little bit menacing, bro. And I'm not trying to get deported. Yeah, headed to the immigration office. It was an absolute nightmare, bro. Like, I looked online, I Googled it. It said you could go to any immigration office. So I went to the one obviously closest to me. Bruh, tell me why I waited there for literally an hour, because they have a lunch break from 12 till 1. So if you arrive like 11:30, 12, bro, you're waiting until they reopen at 1. So yeah, waited for an hour, queued up, long ass queue, bro, just to be told, oh, you can't go to any immigration office. You actually have to go to the one that email you receive is signed off by. So obviously that was a different one for me. So I had to head even further to the immigration office in Denpasar. And yeah, bro, like I literally sat there. The systems here are just not the systems here are just not up to standard. Their whole system was down. They were telling people that they're gonna have to come back another day, and it was just a nightmare. So I waited there for like an hour. The system came online, turned back off, consistent issues, and I was just like, spoke to someone. They said, bro, I'm gonna be honest with you, based on the ticket number you have, you're not being seen today. So I was like, sweet. So spent half a day there for no reason, but at least I had the experience and knew what to expect. So today, we're basically going back down there to try for round 2. Hopefully their systems aren't down again, bro, because it's getting to the point where like, bro, like my I'm stuttering. My visa runs out in like a week and a half and we need to get this shit finalized. One thing I will say is, based on all of these changes, I think it's time to start looking into another visa method, because obviously doing a visa on arrival, bro, you're gonna have to do this every 60 days and that is long. The reason I got the visa I wanted when I came here was because, I mean, I'd never been here before, you know? I literally just packed up and moved. I didn't know if I was gonna like it, didn't know how long I was gonna stay, so the visa on arrival made sense for me. At this point, Bali's a vibe. I do like it here. I found myself very comfortable and getting settled. It's nice, it's chill. We're gonna spend some more time here. So I think either when I leave, like I mentioned in one of my other vlogs, I'm gonna go through an agency and apply for like a longer term visa. I think you're still gonna have to do this, bro. But obviously if you've got like a 3 or 6 month visa, you're only having to do it once every 3 or 6 months. So much more convenient. And yeah, so time's getting on, bro. I'm waffling. What we're gonna do is, I'm actually gonna go fasted. Obviously we're on a diet right now, right? So trying to hold on to as much muscle as possible while getting rid of some of this fat, bro. Because I've had enough of it. It's got a little bit too comfortable in my body, bro. So I don't know if you can notice it because I am looking a bit, I don't know, puffy on camera today, bro. But my face has lost a bit of weight. Whether you can see it or not, the scales tell me it has. Thank you. So yeah, we are looking a little bit better. Super motivating. And one thing I've been doing is trying to fast a little bit in the morning because, I mean, I hear it's healthy. And obviously when you do things like fasted cardio, it's good for you. So we picked up some EAAs. I did some research. It says they're best taken on an empty stomach. So perfect timing, right? So what we're gonna do is, bro, have I been covering the mic? I'm gonna play this back in a minute. Hopefully I haven't been covering the mic the entire time. But yeah, we're gonna take our EAAs, gonna order a taxi. That's another thing to mention as well, bro. Like taxis are more expensive when it's raining, obviously, because the demand is a lot higher. So similar to like Uber in the UK, the price is purely based on how busy it is at any one time. So let's get this booked. I'm gonna take my laptop with me because the crypto markets have been nutty. If you haven't noticed, you've probably been living under a rock. Bitcoin, oh my God, bro. I was gonna show you the rain because it's just getting worse, but I'm gonna have to show you a clip of this when we go outside. This is absolutely crazy. So probably gonna be in this taxi for a long time. I am waffling way too much, brother. So let's get sorted out, packed. We were talking about something. Ah, yeah, so the crypto market, obviously, if you haven't noticed, Bitcoin hit pretty much 120K, bro. Crazy times to be alive. So yeah, market's looking good. However, we have kind of found ourselves in a range. We're gonna talk about crypto a little bit more towards the end of the video, kind of like what my position is, what my thoughts are, and whether I will be getting positioned anytime soon. I am literally just mesmerized by this rain right now, so sorry if I seem distracted. But anyway, that's enough of this waffling. I've been talking for 5 minutes, bro. Who does that on an intro? So I'll catch you in the taxi. Let's get heading to this immigration office. Bro, pray for me, bro, because I'm not trying to do this journey again. Peace, see you in a minute. All right, so we're in the taxi now. It's probably gonna be a little bit of a journey, I'm not gonna lie. Like I said, traffic when it's raining, it's a lot worse. I had to jump on because I don't want you guys to feel like I'm being dramatic, right? The clip I threw in, the rain has calmed down since we've got in the taxi. But I promise you, it was absolutely chucking it down. The weather here is like super unpredictable. I think the safest bet is to get the taxi because the distance from here to where we're going, even on a motorbike at best, you're looking at 35, 45 minutes, and all it takes is for it to start raining again and we are getting caught in that, which is not happening. I'd rather spend the time in the taxi, stay safe, stay dry, and be able to do a little bit of work on the way as well, because I did bring my laptop, so 100 IQ play, if I don't say so myself. All right, we made it. So we're outside the immigration office. Look at the weather, bro. Makes me look like a fool for even taking a taxi, but I'm not gonna lie to you. Definitely stand by my decision, because as you saw from some of them clips, it was like a river at certain parts of the road down here, so wasn't really trying to go through any of that. I've had some bad experiences, to say the least, riding long distances on that bike. Yeah, we're here. I'm gonna show you guys what it looks like. We are like in Denpasar now, which is further than the airport. I mean, it's in the same area, but where we are, it's just past the airport. So it is quite far from like Canggu or Broward or Sese, if you're staying in those kind of popular areas. So yeah, we're gonna go in here, see what happens. We need to go to the second floor, which is where the immigration office is, for us anyway, visa renewals, and pray to God that we get a good spot in line. The time is right now is 10 to 11, which means we've got like an hour and 10 minutes until they go on their lunch break for an hour and then reopen. Bro, I actually can't. Are you seeing this weather? Look out. It's actually super hot. To be fair, it's hot even when it's raining, but this is just crazy. The sun's come out, can't complain. It looks like we're gonna be able to leave here as long as we get sorted a good amount of time and still get in that leg day as planned, plus cardio. So yeah, guys, let me show you what this place looks like outside, and we will head in and get ourselves sorted, I hope. Alright guys, I'm sat in like the waiting area now. I'll show you guys what it looks like. There's like multiple counters where, there's multiple counters where they take the photos and obviously you get sorted. I've been really lucky today because, as I said, I came here before and it was heaving. I guess it might have been purely just because the systems were down and they were having like technical issues, because my number then was like 174 or something like that. And today I've been super lucky. So I've got, you see, B53. If I flip the camera around now, you can see the ticket numbers. They come up on the screen. This is what the desk area looks like. And then this is the seating area inside. Once you've gone to the desks, there's another desk out there, outside, which was in the first clip I showed you at the top of the elevators or escalator, whatever it's called. And you give them your passport, you tell them the reason why you're here, and then they give you a ticket with a number on. That's when you come through to this room and just hope for the best, hope it's not too busy, and that you get a decent number and just wait for your number to be called on the screen. So that's as far as I've ever got. We'll see what the next stages are like. I've been told that all it is just getting a photo taken, as long as you've obviously gone through the application process online and paid. You can either come here, I think you can do the application here and you can pay here if you want, but it seems like the way to do it is to do it online, pay online, and then it's literally just like finalizing the application by getting your photo done and I guess getting the all clear from the immigration guys. I feel like we're going to be out of here within good time. I don't want to jinx it, but the current number for B is B47 and we are B53. 6 people in front of us, cannot complain at all. I'm so happy the way this has worked out so far. I'll go through this process, hopefully get visa extension application approved and catch up with you guys after that. Wish me luck. Guys, I am low-key in disbelief right now. We have been here for a maximum of like 15 minutes and everything has been sorted and we're done. Yeah, just had to sit down. They wanted to confirm the date on my ticket for when I'll actually be leaving. So make sure it all matches the application I sent online. They take a photo and that's pretty much it. You're good to go. This experience was literally the polar opposite of what I had before. I guess it is just kind of luck of the draw and whether the systems are having issues or not, but super smooth. I've been blessed today because the traffic wasn't that bad. Obviously getting here was a super easy and nice experience, and the visa extension will get confirmed and sent through to me via email next week. So that will be your new visa document with the extension date on there. To be honest, all around not that bad of an experience. It's still kind of long, just the fact that you now have to do this every time you extend your visa. I heard it's because people are abusing the visa system, and to be honest, I can understand where they're coming from. This system supposedly used to be the norm and everybody had to do this, and then they stopped doing it for about a year and now it's become like standard again. To be prepared for that if you are extending your visa or you are thinking to do the whole visa on arrival thing and then extend every 30 days. This is going to be something that you have to do. For me, like I said before, now I've decided I do like being here, and yeah, I love Bali. So I'm going to be looking into longer visas with obviously longer stay times to prevent me having to do this often. And I'm going to be completely transparent with you guys. Doing the whole visa on arrival thing and staying for 30 days and extending it is frowned upon. And now they're getting everybody to come into the immigration office to take a photo. I don't know if that's going to cause any problems if it's something you're doing like all the time. So just bear that in mind, and that's pretty much it. I'm super happy that I ended up coming. I was tempted to put it off again, I'm not going to lie to you, but today's been a win. Remember, we are fasted, so I'm absolutely starving. I don't know why the volume is peaking, so sorry if this is super loud. I'm going to get a taxi, head back to my apartment because we may as well start riding the bike, avoid the traffic now the weather's switched up on us. Happy days. Go home, think about what we can eat for some food, get carbed up, head to the gym, hit a leg day, and get an hour of cardio in. I'll see you guys at the gym. We've made it, we're back. Didn't take too long. I reckon the way back was definitely longer than the way there. It took us about an hour to get back to the apartment. So quickly got changed, packed my bag, and we've come to one of my favorite restaurants. It's called Milk and Madu. It's literally on the road where my apartment is, literally around the corner, 2 minutes away. So super convenient. They have this thing called a breakfast muffin, and I'm literally obsessed. The only reason it fits into my macros today is because I'm probably only gonna end up eating like 2 meals. That's something that's been really cool about dieting so far. I found if you don't want to be too like rigid, you can just kind of like work around your macros, and as long as you are still in a calorie deficit at the end of the day and you're hitting your protein goals pretty much, you're good to go. I've managed to find a balance. It's not just pure chicken and rice and like beef and rice like I was doing a long time ago when I tried to do this whole dieting cutting phase. So this time has been a lot more comfortable. I've actually been enjoying it, and yeah, like to today. Managed to make it work for me. We're going to get this breakfast muffin down us, and then we're going to head straight to the gym because we've got leg day and cardio straight after. Super loud in here, not going to talk too much. I'll see you guys at the gym. All in all, good day. I can't believe we've done so well for time. It's 1:30 right now, and I think we left my apartment to go to the immigration office at around, I think it was like 10:30. Honestly, that might be the longest distance I've traveled in Bali in that short amount of time. Absolutely unreal. We got blessed today, which is really nice. So we managed to get to the gym at a reasonable time, you know. It's leg day, like I said. I'm going to start off with some leg extensions. It's going to be a quad focused leg day, but to be honest, it's just me easing myself back into getting into the routine of hitting legs regularly again, because story of my life, I have skipped far too many leg days and it's something I'm working on. But every time I seem to fall out of a consistent routine, then it's so much harder for me to get back into it. Today is the first one. I don't even want to tell you, don't worry about how long it's been. Just know we're here and we're putting in the work and making a change today. And that is legs completed. Literally bang on an hour, which is pretty cool. 63 minutes, and we burn active calories 715. So can't complain with that for a first session back. We did leg extension, Smith machine squats, heavy leg press, and then finished off with some calf raises. I might be missing something between, no, I'm pretty sure that's what we did today. I feel good. Obviously, the weight I'm pushing is not as heavy as I'm used to, being at peak bulk. I'm about 4 kilos lighter than I was when I moved out here. So we're making progress, but it's important to remember that I'm not gonna be as strong as I once was. But considering I'm in a cut, I was pretty happy with the weights I was pushing. Just jumped on the treadmill. Time for that 1 hour of cardio that we've been talking about all day. And to get started, we're gonna do a 40-minute just walk, just to get my steps in. Something I really struggle to do, so on the treadmill is perfect. And then as soon as the 40 minutes of steps is complete, gonna go into a 20-minute incline walk, and that's going to be the cardio aspect of the day. So steps and cardio all completed within 1 hour. Wish me luck. Peace. Decided to make a quick pit stop before we headed home. Gym was a success. We got the hour of legs and an hour of cardio in. Something about just achieving whatever you're putting your mind to, the motivation and just dopamine that it releases in your brain, unmatched. So feeling super good. I'm happy with myself for pushing through and getting it done, and thought before we head home, let's head to the beach and just take a minute to appreciate where we are and just soak it up, because I've mentioned this in one of my videos before. It's just so easy to be so laser focused on your goals that your head's down and you don't take a minute to lift your head up and actually appreciate where you currently are, what you've managed to achieve for yourself. And yeah, life goes quickly. It's absolutely fine to keep pushing towards new goals, but at the same time slow down and just appreciate where you are and how far you've come. We're at a beach. There's a little hut at this beach called Bulong Beach. Super popular, where people come, sit, chill, surf, and you can get a coconut, and it's just raised up. You get a really nice view of the beach. So I thought I'd come here, have a cheeky coconut and all that, and then head back home and get some work done after. Let me show you the views from where I'm sat. And we are back. Showered, fresh, in PJs, ready to finish off the last few tasks of today. Get some food, because literally I haven't eaten since that clip in Milk and Madu, which isn't great, but at least I'm gonna end up in a calorie deficit. So if you haven't watched the 7 years, it's been 7 years video, essentially that was kind of an overview of where I've been and what I do to make money and how I live like this. I have a contract with a crypto firm in America who I do work for. And then on top of that, I trade. I day trade cryptocurrency. I've been trading now for about, I think we're going on 4 or 5 years, which to be honest, when I think about it, that's kind of crazy. But actually, seriously, since 2021 or late 2020. Either way, so 4 years. I've always been a little bit kind of on the fence about talking about crypto and trading, just because of the stigma the industry has, and I didn't know if I wanted to be grouped in with them. But I figure I can do it my way. I can just let you guys know my overall thoughts on the market, where I'm thinking about positioning, and yeah, just a little bit of the behind the scenes of how I'm actually making money and things like that. So let me flip the screen around so you can actually see what I'm looking at, and we will take a look at the Bitcoin chart, and I will go over what my thoughts are at the moment, whether I'm thinking about getting into any positions soon, and also my style of trading and my overall approach. Okay guys, so here we're looking at the Bitcoin, so the BTC daily chart. I am predominantly a swing trader, which means I trade over longer periods of time, such as usually around like hours, daily, sometimes weeks, depending on the position, but usually over the course of a few hours to like a few days. I haven't found myself patient enough to hold a position over a week yet, but there are certain situations where I really should start edging towards that way, because actually saying that is a tough one. It really depends on like your financial situation at the time, because you never go broke taking profit, right? If your position is in a healthy amount of profit and you're happy with it, you might want to close, which is something I like to do, especially as I'm rebuilding right now. I'm not really in a point where my account is so healthy where I'm like, oh, well, I don't care if I end up retracing all of my position. But do you know what? On that note, something that is a very good habit to get into is taking profit along the way. So setting multiple take profit points as the trade plays out. You could have like TP1, TP just stands for take profit. So like TP1, TP2, TP3. And then you could say, you know what? At TP3, I plan to be 75% out of my position, and I'm going to leave the remainder as we call it a moon bag. That would essentially be closed enough profit that I'm happy to leave the remainder, and if it comes back to my stop loss, in these sort of situations, you would want to set your stop loss to break even. If you do end up retracing the remainder of the position, at least if your stop loss gets hit, you're at break even. You're not going to give any money back to the market. That's kind of the ideal situation you want to be in. But anyway, without waffling too much, I've got a few lines on here. To be honest, some of these lines I've drawn in from quite a long time ago, which were just key levels that I was watching on the BTC chart. This is the daily. Let's zoom into what I'm actually looking at right now. So something that's been really interesting is we've been, like I said, up only for quite some time now. This breakout here, which was essentially started on the 21st of April, making new highs and then new levels of support, and then retesting those levels of support like you can see here, and then taking the next leg up. And then what we see here is essentially like it creating a range. This level here is the support, which is like just over 100,000. And then this is the resistance, which is 112,000. So what we saw was some ranging in the market up to about Wednesday the 9th of July. Well, Wednesday the 10th is where we saw the breakout. New highs again. Everybody went absolutely crazy because we saw a peak of 123,000 on the 14th of July. That is the highest Bitcoin's ever been. And then you just saw the entire market just go apeshit. Then what happened is we created a new support, which was around 117,000. Now, just in case you don't know, support essentially just means an area where there is enough liquidity that if the price revisits to that area, it's going to get instantly bought up. It's supported by buyers. There's enough buying interest to hold a certain level. That's essentially what support means. Unfortunately, what we've seen happen since breaking into this new level is we kind of began to make a new range. I haven't drawn the resistance level here, but you'd probably say I would probably go about here, so like 120,000. Obviously, you had some wicks that spiked out, which were just like sudden influxes of liquidity, but predominantly each day has stayed within this range of like, 117,000 being the support and then 120,000 being the resistance. Yeah, it's been a funny one. To be honest, personally, I haven't really wanted to enter here. I wanted a clear direction, so I've even wanted to see a breakout of the resistance level. Let me draw that in here, like roughly around here. Let's change that to a solid line. Yeah, cool. So that would be the resistance for me, and then this would be your ranging market. One thing that's really important is the more you see a price revisit what becomes the support level, i.e. 117,000, the weaker it becomes. The reason being is every time it reaches that level, more liquidity, more buy orders are being essentially opened and closed and taken out of the market. That's like every time it tests, there's less and less support, unless you just have ridiculous buy pressure. But rule of thumb is the more your support level gets tested, the weaker it becomes. Now, for me, this wasn't looking
good. Not good enough to get into any long positions anyway. So if you don't know, long means a buy order, short means I think it's gonna go down. That'd be a sell order. Now, this is exactly what kind of happened. We saw some kind of crazy price action over the weekend, just bouncing between this new range that it kind of created. And then today, we've seen a complete break through the 117K support. Now we're kind of just floating in midair. It's very hard to position in something like this. And for me, I'd be waiting for a revisit of something like 112,000, which is a key level. That's where we've seen previous resistance, and then we broke out of that area. So there'll be a lot of buying interest, you'd like to think, or at least enough to kind of create a bounce if we do reach that level. For me, I've learned over the years to be a lot more patient. I like to take my time, and then when I have a lot more conviction and I believe there is a lot of interest in a certain level, whether that be a sell order or a buy, I would like to increase my risk. So rather than having loads of little positions in here and getting eaten alive and chopping away at my account, I will wait and be patient. And as you can see, it does take a lot of patience because that's the 11th of July. This is the 25th. And we've been ranging since then. So sometimes you won't take a position for a while. And that's why with swing trading, it is important when you are in a winning position, you do just want to give it the space to run. You don't really want to, it's hard because the discipline and then seeing the figures, it's just, I think like that just comes with an experience, being able to not touch a position and over manage, because that is a massive thing that traders experience, and me myself still haven't mastered it and still do it to this day, but practice makes perfect, right? Yeah, this is getting super long and it was supposed to just be a little introduction, but I want to give you guys my actual thoughts on Bitcoin at the moment. And if we go to a 4 hour, let's have a look at that. Swing trading, just to give you an idea, we're looking on high time frames. That's where I'm drawing in my support and resistance levels. And then I zoom in to like a 4 hour really when I'm looking for an actual entry. Sometimes I go down to like a 1 hour, but usually around 4 hours. So yeah, we're waiting, well, me personally, I'm waiting for around 112,000, sorry. That would be my main level of buying interest. Until we reach that level, it's kind of just like a coin flip to see like, is there enough buy pressure in this random area where there's no real levels of support to bring us back up into that kind of range where we were before of 117,000 being the support level. Until that happens, I'm kind of just sat on my hands. This dash line I've drawn, that's just an alert. If you don't know, by the way, this is TradingView. I'd recommend using that to chart out all the coins you're interested in and so on and so forth. And yeah, that's kind of it. Really, I don't really want to go any more in depth than that. Just a quick overview of what my thoughts are on Bitcoin's price movement. The whole market follows Bitcoin and Bitcoin follows equities, and equities is the stock market essentially. Like you can make a plan off Bitcoin and then the rest of your trades you kind of want to make in line with your thinking and thought process for Bitcoin. So for me, until I see us enter into like this area, ideally 112, but we'll see what happens. That's when I'll be looking at other things like Ethereum and Solana and so on. Solana is actually like a crazy chart right now. We saw like 205 on, when was this? On the 23rd, 2 days ago. And then now we're back at 180. Yeah, it just goes to show what altcoins are essentially coins which aren't Bitcoin, basically every other coin. So it just goes to show the reaction that the rest of the market has based on smaller movements with Bitcoin. I appreciate that's not a smaller movement, but this here is when you saw like the initial reaction, which was this, which is just crazy. Be careful, play with caution, and yeah, always look at Bitcoin and equities when you're making your overall kind of bias towards the market. That being said, let me flip this camera back around and sign off. I'm always being asked to teach people about crypto or at least give some tips, and I'm gonna start slowly drip feeding some knowledge into my videos. Hopefully that helps. I know it was kind of like word vomit, but I don't want to say anything that I don't then explain, because there might be some people here who don't know what take profit is or TP1 and support and resistance and things like that. So I'm going to keep it super basic. If you have any questions, please feel free to just drop them in the comments. I'll be happy to answer them. And yeah, stay safe out there. It's been really nice to be on the vlog today. I feel like we've done so much. It's been cool. Literally didn't really plan any of it apart from going to get my visa extended and the picture taken. and it's come together really nicely. So next week, we do have a kind of plan for what's going to happen. I'm moving into a new villa with my best friend who arrives next Wednesday. So she's super excited. We've got a cool place. We'll do a little bit of a villa tour and see what you guys think. So thank you guys for following along. Appreciate you joining me today. It's been a fun day, and I'll see you guys next week. Take care of yourself.